Welcome to San Joaquin News Network. I'm doing a story on Sheriff Bob Sanger from Klickitat County in Goldendale, Washington. Their sheriff is refusing to enforce unconstitutional laws regarding gun control, and more than 20 other sheriffs are following in his lead. Just think about that. What does that mean? And by defying these laws of tradition, mainstream media decided they actually wanted to cover the story and put him on Fox News. I guess this means he's blatantly defying the Attorney General, Bob Ferguson, and the Governor, Jay Inslee. And do you guys want to hear what the Attorney General, Bob Ferguson, has to say about it?
Given the statements by some local law enforcement officials like, hey, I'm not going to go bust into someone's home to check if their gun is stored safely. Well, no, the initiative doesn't require you to do that. It doesn't ask you to do that. So we thought, let's just clarify some of these things and let's just focus on what is the disagreement.
Well, you do if the law is legal. If it's an illegal law, why would you enforce something that you believe in your heart is an illegal law? Even if it was a legal law, you have discretionary power. You're not required to make an arrest. And as sheriff, as an elected, only law enforcement official in the entire country that's elected by the people. The distinction to me is if it affects the Constitution, in my opinion. And I fully realize that the governor and the attorney general has a different.
Well, that's convenient, the latter argument, right? If you personally believe something to be unconstitutional, therefore you don't enforce it, you will see in the state 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and 20-year-olds who can no longer purchase an AR-15. That's going to happen, period. You will see in the state enhanced background checks done for semi-automatic weapons, effective July 1. That's going to happen, period, full stop. If that means the state has to come in to perform those enhanced background checks.
And in 7 other states, there are over 100 counties that consider themselves sanctuaries for gun rights. And remember when I told you there was 20 other sheriff that was following in Bob Sanger's lead? Well, Bob Ferguson, the Attorney General, just sent all 20 of those sheriff a letter and told them that they were going to be financially liable if they didn't comply, basically threatening to take their money away. But let's hear what the people have to say about the sheriff.
You give them one gun, they're going to want all of them.
Yeah, I think it's great. I appreciate it.
Well, thank
Doing
you.
the right thing.
Now, I advocate on my channel that I want to highlight good officers as well as put the bad ones, show them in a light where everyone can see. But I also want to empower the good officers, and I like what this guy's doing. He sees a law that's unconstitutional and he's not willing to enforce it. But the problem is they're not giving him discretion. They're going to take the funding away. They're going to punish him if he continues to do what he's doing. We need to empower the officers that are willing to enforce laws for the people, not for people like this Bob Ferguson guy. I want to say thank you to this officer right here. Also, while doing this video, I did a little bit of research on this guy. I did some extensive research on the guy, watched actually a couple debates that he had on YouTube, and one of the debates that I seen he had with another gentleman that was running for sheriff, and I love the way this guy was just basically putting everything on the table. I like the way he was basically destroying the other candidate, and I say destroying because this guy ultimately won the election. So nevertheless, I'll leave you with a little bit of that and in the video with what I seen. And I say we support Bob Sanger and his efforts in to preserve the Constitution. Thank you guys. And don't forget to let me know if you guys like my new channel, the way I'm going to present it to you guys. I'm planning on doing more news coverage of stuff like this. Let me know where I can improve. Leave a like. Please hit the like button every time you guys come on my channel if you guys like the video. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Get into that. I need to get this one out. Mark has continually implied that my age, too old to do the job of sheriff. I'd ask you, Mark, if I come to you today.
First of all, I have not implied that ever. Not once have I ever brought up your age. Not once.
Oh yes. I beg to differ.
Prove it. So, my goodness.
Well, or implied. Back to John Wayne days and various other comments.
I wasn't referring to you with those John Wayne movies. I'm talking about when I made reference back in January to John Wayne movies, it was that the laws today are different than they were when you could just deputize somebody.
Plan on retiring early, and then you'll be appointed the incumbent sheriff, and it'll help you in the election. And said, well, yeah, I imagine it would, but I said, no, I'm not interested.
And why did you say that?
Well, I'm going to be real candid with you. I'm not going to get down in the weeds with it, but I have a real problem. Rick, ethical standards is not what I consider professional. And Mark and I know what we're talking about. I mean, he knows what I'm talking about here, but and without getting into all the detail. But I had some personal problems with it. I did not want to tie myself to an administration. One, I could not support the sheriff ethically. Okay? And I'd served as an undersheriff, and I know you serve at the pleasure of that sheriff. And you have to be loyal to that individual. And you have to be loyal to the department and the community. But you're serving at the whim of that sheriff. And I knew that I could not do that. In my heart of hearts, I knew that I could not do that with Rick McCombs. Because I did not want to be tied to an administration if a lot of stuff that would come out could not only be very embarrassing to the department, but to the sheriff himself. So I declined.